Is there anything that gets the juices flowing like a rivalry game? And our matchup is bitter. It has barbs and shots thrown on and off the field over the years. Welcome, everyone, to Morgantown, West Virginia, home to the West Virginia Mountaineers. As we'll see a squad from the ACC, the Pittsburgh Panthers, taking on a team from the Big 12, the West Virginia Mountaineers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. And the Mountaineers will kick it off to get us underway. Looks as if the returner will try and field this one. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Panthers offense will go to work first. Early last year, this was a contender for game of the season. Back and forth, Pitt looked to be dead in the water and somehow found a way to come back. This backyard brawl never disappoints.
It was fantastic. I mean, it was back and forth, high scoring. Both teams got in the 30s, and Pitt needed to deliver late, and they did. They scored 2 TDs in the last 3 minutes. Quarterback went in fuego. It was an unbelievable game.
Yeah, all around, too, for Pittsburgh, right? Because it wasn't just Holstein throwing it. He also led his team in rushing that day. But the defense came away with 2 critical turnovers. That was the difference in this game. The backyard brawl, man. This game is so much fun to watch.
That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And I think that might be an example of the running back maybe trying to do a little bit too much. Everybody wants to try to bounce the ball outside and hit the home run, but in college football at this level, you just need to do a better job taking what the defense gives you.
They give it to him again. Can't get him to the ground. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
Pitt will line up to punt it away. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. He'll try to field the punt and bring it back. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. So West Virginia's offense will try to get something started with their first possession. And this running game might have a huge advantage when they get to the second level of this defense, David.
Well, and this is a big challenge. Like, you're overmatched. You understand that this guy is a top-shelf player. And I'll be honest, this defense has kind of struggled a little bit this season. But this individual matchup, you got to get him on the ground. You got to find a way to corral him, slow him down. He can't be the game wrecker. If that's the case, it's going to be too easy for this offense.
And if you're on offense, you got to be thinking, let's dominate in the trenches and let's get our star running back into the second level against this linebacker. We've got an athletic advantage at that position. So if we can free him up into the second level of this defense, make him make guys miss, those are going to be explosive plays for the offense.
And I like changing things up. I like trying new things. Handing it to the tight end, that's something you don't see very often. A little creativity. Now, it was negativity in the end, but I like the creative thought process of trying to get somebody else the football.
On the ground, going for the first down with the give to the tight end. That defensive front just flat whipped them as they knock him down for a big loss.
And that's a great job by the defense, understanding exactly the situation, understanding to stay home, play sound. No matter who gets the football, we're going to run to the football hard. We're going to cage the football, be disciplined. Nice job by the defense.
Splits the uprights, it's good. And that'll put the first points of the game on the board. It's 3-0.
And he'll take that first drive. Like, you wanted a touchdown, but you gave the people here at home something to cheer about in that first drive. Move the football enough to get your kicker an opportunity and to put 3 on the board.
So after the last drive ended with a field goal, the kickoff team out there to send it away. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. A little bit backed up to start this drive 18-yard line. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Man, this defense is setting the tone early. 3 and out on the first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, they get a TFL. They are sending a very clear and distinct message to this offense. They are going to set the tone of this game.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Makes the grab. It's Williams. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Great job by the defense winning those early downs. Now you get them in a predictable situation. 3rd and long. You bring in more DBs, more speed, more fun blitz packages. Get to have a little fun. Go get the quarterback.
3rd down coming in the Morgantown faithful, making it tough on this big play. Looking for a man. It's Holstein. He hurls one deep down the left side. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls against this receiver and his speed. He's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
They boot it away on 4th down. Makes the signal, secures the fair catch, and they'll put it in play at the 37. First play of the drive comes from the 38. On the ground, it's White. And he's able to find a little bit of running room before they get him down.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Mountaineers with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. He'll do it himself. Stop behind the line, he'll lose a yard.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Fights his way for a couple, but stopped short of the marker. It's 4th and 1.
Now, 4th down.
And the offense will stay on the field. Do you think they're just going to try to make the defense jump? They'll go to the fullback. He's not going to get there. Stopped short on 4th down.
Offense is stopped. Will be returned on down.
Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and that can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play action attempt.
And the Panthers trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Trying play action. And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again.
Man, this guy is just starting to take this game over. Sack on 1st down, sack on 2nd down, and now on 3rd down, this offense, they better identify where this guy's lining up, and they better get him double-teamed because they can't block him right now.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. That's caught. It's Williams. Defense there to get him out of bounds as he gets it down to the 48.
Really nice job by the defense there. You're trying to force the quarterback to throw the football in front of you and allow your guys to square up and make a tackle out in space. You got to force the ball carrier to do something special after the catch. Not able to do it there, so really nice tactic by the defense.
Not going to get a chance to field that one, and the punt will bounce out of bounds. First snap of this drive comes from the 32. The give from the gun. Not much he could do there. Does pick up 2 to the 34. So many rivalries built on proximity, and Pitt and West Virginia have been squaring off in their backyard since 1895.
And it's just crazy to think about. A rivalry that goes that far back, so close to each other, it means so much for a year of bragging rights, Palmer.
Well, and the hate started in 1895, but every single year, every time these two teams play, you just see that on the field.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too, but don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
They'll try to bully their way for the first. And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
And the Mountaineers with the 1st and 10. Catch in the middle, it's great. Really nice pickup on that one as they get it to the 36. It'll be 1st down. Guys, that's the end of the quarter, and West Virginia has the lead. And we've come to the end of one, and let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the 2nd quarter. So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. Open downfield. Touchdown, Mountaineers! Made the grab and took it on in for the score.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running, I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy, the connection between quarterback, wide receiver. You can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they get it into the end zone on a 36-yard touchdown pass. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Snags a quick pass on the left. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Well, give the defense credit on that one because they knew coming into this one that they were going to try to get this receiver the ball in a variety of ways. They were ready for the screen there, and they created a negative play.
The Panthers have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. That's caught. It's Williams. Uses a nifty move to work his way to the 24.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
You can feel the Mountaineer spirit rising, reverberating across the field on this big 3rd down. To the air, it's Holstein. Fires to the big fella. He'll make a play on 3rd down. He's got enough for the first as they mark it at the 32.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the first half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they've built a lead.
These guys are bringing serious heat. They are like sharks swarming and just getting after the passer. Back to pass on second down. Setting up the screen. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And on those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
The play action fake. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
It's amazing to think just how confident this offense was coming into this game. They thought they were going to go up and down the field throwing the football in this one. That has not been the case. They have not yet scored a touchdown in this one. They just threw an incompletion on third down now, looking like they may have to punt. This offense has got to find their rhythm, but you've got to wonder about their confidence at this point in the game.
This drive will get started from the 37-yard line. To the ground with the back. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays, but sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well, but if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it. Otherwise, you're just going to abandon it, and now it's just going to be a passing game.
Second down, they'll go to the air. He's got an open man. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down.
When you get man-to-man coverage and you're running that curl, I got to sell him deep. I got to get a little bit of space where I can make him thinking, I'm running deep, and then I sit down real quick. QB, wide receiver on the same page, first down.
They'll snap it from the 47 on first down. That one never had a chance. Incomplete.
That's a throw the QB would like to have back. He just has to do a better job giving his receiver a chance to make the catch.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Now the play fake. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
When it's a play-action pass, that quarterback, he really has to sell the fake. He can't tell his offensive lineman's getting beat right away while he's selling the fake. He had no shot.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, he'll need to push it downfield. That's reeled in. It's Brink. He'll be brought down at the 46, and he is well short of that first down marker. Fourth down coming.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on third down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You set up fourth and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
They punted away on fourth down.
Dude, how about that? Boom. I mean, you talk about power. That dude just booted that thing halfway across the field, completely flipping the field position and getting it down inside the 10. That is a nice job by that punter.
Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
Well, he was able to gash him on that play. You just give this guy 1 inch, one little crease, he puts his foot in the ground and he gets north fast.
First and 10 from their own 17. Use the play fake, now to throw. Caught over the middle, it's Johnson. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
If they're going to sit back in zone, I'm going to make sure I know exactly what they're doing, find those holes, find those crossing patterns, and take advantage of that zone coverage.
Finally, this offense starting to show a little juice. They've got a 1st and 10. Off play action. Grabbed over the middle. It's Lee. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be 2nd and just a few breaths away from the 1st down. And the Panthers come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Back to throw, it's Holstein. Firing to the right, complete. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the 1st down. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and a score on this drive would do wonders for their confidence. Pittsburgh going to work with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw it. Pulls it in. It's Lee.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
The Panthers can really attack on this 2nd and short. Back to pass. Quick completion on the out. He'll step out of bounds right at the 27. Precision, execution, and timing to pick up the 1st down on the out route.
I think you're spot on. Those out routes, man, it's got to be about timing. You got to throw that football before he breaks. Nice job seeing it. Short yard situation, throwing the ball on the money so the receiver can get upfield and get the 1st down.
Wants to throw on 1st down. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down.
Well, the receiver was double covered on that play, and I don't know if the decision by the QB had to do with the pressure. Because he was hurried, he just had to get rid of that faster than he wanted to. He's lucky he didn't come away with an interception.
So now it's 2nd and long. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. And the quarterback is toast back at the 35.
And it's been that kind of day so far for this offense, guys. This quarterback has never had an opportunity because he keeps getting sacked. That now already the 4th sack of the game. We're only in the 2nd quarter. I guess the only good news, he hasn't turned it over yet. He hasn't been forced to throw the ball up into coverage, into a bad spot. He's been good about just eating the football, but they've got to find a way to find some rhythm here in the passing game moving forward.
Gets out of bounds after the big play, and they'll be set up in business with a 1st and goal.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
Back to throw, it's Holstein. Looking to get in. He's down at the 1, and they almost had the touchdown pass on that one. We got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Looking for just 1 more yard. It's 2nd and goal. On the ground. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Panthers.
And that's a touchdown this offense absolutely had to have to keep it to a 1-possession game before going in at halftime. That touchdown is going to do wonders for this team's confidence.
He'll try to tack on 1 more. And with the extra point, the lead is cut to 3. It's 10-7.
That makes the score West Virginia 10.
So they got the touchdown, now going to put it in the hands of their defense to finish off this half. Here's the return from inside his 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the first half. Pocket breaking down. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
And listen, the quarterback drops back, and he's going through his progressions. We see zone, but just couldn't do anything about it. This defensive line, this pressure, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground.
Second down, they'll go to the air. There's the pressure. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Here comes the option. He'll toss it. At the 20, he's got space. The defense calls the timeout, and that's their last one of the half.
I have absolutely no problem with that call. Third and long, passing defense on the field. They sneak the option in. QB makes the right decision, and they chew up some yardage, and now they've given themselves an opportunity on fourth down to be able to go for it.
He looks it in and makes the fair catch, and they'll have it at the 32. Less than half minute to play here in the half. Let's see how aggressive they are on 1st and 10. To the air. It's Holstein. Got his man. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Clock still running, almost certainly the last play of the half. Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. Quickly complete. That ought to be enough to give Pitt the first down. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Guys, no backyard is safe when the Panthers and Mountaineers get together, and that's the case again today. And how do we possibly begin without singing the praises of this receiver? His ability to find gaps, run textbook routes, and then show that breakaway speed. He simply is the total package. How this secondary responds, whether they try to double-team him or get aggressive at the line, that'll be the story of this second half. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the fight between West Virginia and Pittsburgh plays out.
Let's see what he can get done from inside his own 15. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. He'll start this third quarter with a run. Crosses the 35. Oh, a lot of space. And that one looked as if it might go all the way, but they picked up more than 40 yards before the touchdown-saving tackle.
Every time he touches the ball, you can feel the excitement from this home crowd because Palmer, he can go the distance with that game-breaking speed.
You're right, David. He's a special talent. I'll tell you, these fans, they come here to see this guy play because he has game-breaking speed. Stuff you can't coach. You saw it on that play.
And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. He'll pull it on the read. He's going to be able to pick up a few yards before the slide.
And you're seeing his dynamic ability to run the football that time on the option play. I know he doesn't pick up the first down, but that's still a good chunk of yardage, and the defense wasn't ready for it. Moving forward, expect the offense to go back to the option play again and see if someone will finally take the quarterback and force him to pitch it.
They'll stick to the ground looking for the marker. He'll be down at the 4-yard line after that terrific run.
What a big-time run for this offense. A physical run, getting down, almost scoring the touchdown.
Yeah, and considering how well they're running it right now, why wouldn't you just hand it off to this guy right here again?
The Mountaineers are flying down the field. They'll dial up the run on 1st and goal. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Mountaineers. vision blocking up front, created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finish it off with the score from the 4. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the move from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Off-play action on first down. Fires on the move. Just masterful working that sideline and getting the toe down for the catch.
Great job by the quarterback throwing against zone coverage. You cannot telegraph where you're throwing the football. You cannot eyeball wide receivers. So great job by the quarterback using his eyes, not staring down his guy, and then throwing him open.
Cranking up a drive like that can really get you going. It's first down from the 44. Looking for space. It's Reed. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And coming out in the second half, this offense, they needed to establish this run game. They needed to get something going. They're losing. They've got to find a way to get a flow, to get a rhythm. And so far here to start this second half, defense picking up where it left off.
Back to pass, it's Holstein. Grabbed in the middle, it's Johnson. Several defenders there to get him on the ground.
Now, I know that completion isn't a touchdown. It's not a deep play deep down the field, but how about the strong hands by that receiver making that catch? He made that look pretty routine. He had that DB draped all over him and still was able to help this offense get positive yards.
In the gun and looking to throw on third down. Grabbed behind the line. It's Reed. They'll make the stop right there, but Pittsburgh moves the chains and they have a first down.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
Pitt coming to the line after getting another first down. To the air on first down. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. He's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and they are threatening.
Kind of like that big, reliable security blanket. And that's what tight ends are a lot of the times. They're just usually big, huge guys that if I throw it anywhere near him, he's going to pluck it, catch it, and give me some positive yards.
The RPO, fire complete to the left. Makes the grab, and not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play. The Panthers with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Wants to go up top. Makes the grab on the left. Tackle is made after the catch, but it'll set up first and goal from the 7.
And when you get zone coverage and you're running curls and the wide receiver sprints off the ball, you know what happens? That DB starts to bail, and that wide receiver comes back, and it's easy pitch and catch for the offense.
On first and goal, let's see what Pitt does here. They'll try to get it in with the run. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the second half.
He pushes his way down to the floor as they get closer and closer.
unsuccessful second down, and now I'm immediately thinking, I got a little bit more than I want, so what are my pass plays? What am I going to get into here offensively to try to have success on third down?
Third down coming in the Morgantown faithful, making it tough on this big play. Give to the running back. He did not make it a stone wall on third down.
Man, it has been a long drive offensively. I just feel like you got to pay this off and be aggressive. You're down close. Punch it in for a touchdown here, Pollard.
Yeah, and inside the 3-yard line, I think I might try to finish this off with a touchdown. I ate up a ton of clock, wore these guys out. Now they'd have to go the length of the field if I missed.
Wants to throw. It's Holstein. Touchdown, Pitt! The offense puts up 6 with that trip to the end zone. They score for the big fella here. Why are tight ends so effective in the red zone?
Well, these aren't the guys that are going to burn by you and go for 70 most of the time, but when you can use their big-bodied frames, threaten them to run the football and be a blocker in the running game, and now you slip them in the secondary, make that big play.
Lining up to add another.
Kicker is on for the extra point.
And with the extra point, they close it to a 17-14 game. So it's an 80-yard drive, and the score comes on a 5-yard touchdown pass. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. First play of the drive comes from the 22. The give out of the gun. Picks his way and gets 4 out to the 27.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. On the run, it's White. Snuffed out behind the line of scrimmage, and we have not seen much of that. What a day he's had so far.
That's how you come up and make plays as a defense, man. Playing physical, playing downhill. They've given up some plays today, man. He's got over 100 yards on the day. He's really had some success. But on that play, really downhill, really physical, and a nice job getting him to the ground.
Under fire. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
This game just feels so different than it did in the first half. After that incompletion, now setting up 4th down, they only have a 1-possession lead. Things were looking so much better earlier in the game. They're going to have to get it together throwing the football if they want to win this game.
And the Mountaineers will bring the punt team onto the field. He will signal for the fair catch and take it just inside the 35. Opening play of this drive comes from the 34. Off the play fake on first down to throw. It's complete on the right side. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. The little toss to the fullback there didn't get big yardage, but it does let the defense know they can't ignore it.
Dang right. It's a changeup. It's not going to be something I live with and do all the time and try to feature him out of the backfield, but if I can slip him the football every now and again and deter you from blitzing and assuming run when the fullback's always in the football.
That's one the offense would love to have back. That's a play they practice over and over and over. They feel like they can run that play in their sleep, not able to connect there.
4 punts already, and they've got to convert here to avoid a 5th. Back to pass, it's Holstein. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
And it's been a long day for this offense. If you can't protect your quarterback, it's hard to be successful. That's the 5th sack they have given up. The offensive coordinator has no answers, and this defense has been flying around. Pitt
will have to boot this one away. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. Another punt on the way. Got to make sure those hammies and glutes all activated. Don't want any muscle pulls from overuse. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. Trying to move them on the counter. Stop behind the line of scrimmage, and that is a rare sight for this defense today against this guy.
Well, this guy's been an animal all game long. He's had tons of success running the football. The defense had to do something to stop him. Give the D-line and that front 7 tons of credit for being really physical there, getting the TFL.
Leaves it with the back. And he was able to work his way for just a few, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter. We've reached the end of the period. It's West Virginia on top. And we've reached the end of the 3rd, and time is running out if they're going to cut into this deficit. Let's take a look at our game stats before we move on. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the 4th quarter. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Got a man. It's Gallagher. And they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the 1st.
At the 27. Coming up, 4th down.
The Mountaineers will call on their punt team. He'll try to really get into this one. He's got it. And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he's stopped. First play of this drive comes from the 35-yard line. Got a man. It's Williams. A solid pickup there. Works it to the 38 before being pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, and I tell you what, when you stick these fast suckers in the slot, they don't have to be big. But you get those guys that are so quick in the slot, they can get great matchups, and I can get the ball to them quick because they're such dynamic playmakers.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Looking to throw, it's Holstein. Quickly complete. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
You run the slant route day one, and this is something that the quarterback and the wide receiver has done 100 million times out there on the field in the offseason. I see man-to-man coverage. I know I can run the slant. Boom, stick my foot in the ground, throw it, completion to my wide receiver.
Wants to go up top on 1st down. Got it in the middle. It's Williams. He stopped just a chain link or 2 away from the 1st down and sets them up beautifully here.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
The Panthers have their whole playbook open here on 2nd and inches. Looking to throw again. Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
You can just see the excitement this defense has every play. They're almost wishing this quarterback drops back to throw because they know they're going to get home to him. That's the 6th time they've registered a sack.
A touch out of field goal range. They need to pick up yards quickly on 3rd down. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. Nice job to pick up the 1st down, and they'll spot it at the 42.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
To the ground. He's got it again. This time the defense was ready, and they stop him in his tracks.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. And they got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated this entire game.
Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed.
And I don't like the play call, guys. Screen pass at this point of the game against the defense, playing big zones, prevent, trying to keep the ball in front. It's just not going to work. You've got to take shots offensively.
A field goal attempt from here would be 54 yards. They'd love to pick up a few on third down. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. They'll stop him just short of the first down marker on the screen.
Yeah, and on third down, obviously, you're thinking pass, pass, pass. A great job by the offense trying to slip in the screen, but the defense had none of it. Great job reacting to the screen, seeing it, going and making a play.
Pitt will line up to punt it away. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. How about this? It's out of bounds inside the 10, and they're going to mark it right around the 5-yard line. What a great job there. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. He's got the tight end. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few.
Yeah, and tight ends aren't just line up and block guys anymore. These guys are athletes. You line them up all over the field, and nowadays you can start to feature them more and more in the passing game.
Time is on their side, and they're going to wind that play clock all the way down. They'll try to keep this clock moving on the ground. Drives into the pile just to pick up a 1. They'll spot it at the 10.
And this is a pressing time for this defense. They've got to understand, they're backed up a little bit. They're going to run the football. They don't want to make a mistake. So I think this is the time I'm a little bit more aggressive. I got to get this football back to my offense because I'm trailing. So I look for this defense to get a little bit aggressive.
Looking to throw on third. The sure hands, it's Vaughn. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. And the Mountaineers have it with a 1st and 10. Snagged in the middle, it's Barnes. And the explosiveness, the big gainer gets it to the 49-yard line. The defense calls the timeout, their 2nd of the day, as they try to get their act together. Off the play fake on first down. Got it behind the line. It's Gallagher. And he tried to string out that run, but there was nowhere to turn it upfield, and he's forced out of bounds for a loss. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. They'll run play action. He's going to take off. He's brought down, but not before he turned that into a positive play and picked up a few on the run. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. From the gun. Give on the inside. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down.
At the 40-yard line. 4th down coming up.
Two-minute timeout arrives, and this defense desperately needs to get the football back. The Mountaineers send out the punt unit. They've been busy out there to punt for the 5th time today. And they'll keep it away from the return man as the punt goes out of bounds. They'll get this drive going from the 17. Dropping back, it's Holstein. Finds the tight end.
And I think the defense doing a really good job of understanding this is late in the game. It matters. Taking away the sidelines, taking away the middle of the field, making him kind of check the football down, go through his progressions, and make that clock tick.
And the Panthers can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Looking to fire. Got it in the middle, it's Johnson. That'll be enough for a fresh set of downs. He gets it to the 32.
He's tackled.
You hate giving up that play if you're the DB on this one because you're playing man coverage, you're trying to defend a slant route. You've taken the inside away. That's where your leverage is. You'll allow anything to happen to the outside. You're trying to funnel the receiver to the boundary. You just cannot let the receiver beat you to the inside.
Under fire. And he can't find anyone open, and down he goes. A sack here late in the fourth.
Goodness gracious, this is a master class, a clinic on how to get to the quarterback. The 7th sack of the game, are you kidding me? That's a season for some teams. They've lived in the backfield.
Wants to pass, and he's got to make a play. Makes the catch. It's Williams. He'll be forced out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 44-yard line, and this offense has it going. He knew exactly what they needed there, made the play, and got out of bounds to stop the clock.
And you got to keep this turbo mode on, right? We got to keep going fast. The clock's running down. Fourth quarter, need a score. Great execution to get the first down. We need a lot more of this on this drive.
Looking downfield on first down. With the catch, it's Williams. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
Well, I know it's early in the drive, and you're just trying to get completions and get the drive going, but this is 2 minutes, and you're trailing. I mean, you've got to take some shots down the field and be a little bit more aggressive, put some pressure on this defense.
To the air, it's Holstein. Fires to the tight end. And he gets out of bounds to stop the clock as the offense moves closer, trying to pull it out.
Love the play call in a 2-minute situation here in the fourth quarter. Out-breaking route so you can make the catch, hopefully get out of bounds, and save yourself clock.
Now they've got it at the 44 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. A strike downfield. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
He's brought down at the 23-yard line. Good enough for a first down.
Morgantown will be rocking tonight as if it is ever any other way, as the Mountaineers take down Pitt and win the backyard brawl. That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.